I'm Patricia Arps from Power Restored Consulting. In my last video, I told you I would share the night the pastor's wife came to my house. This is one of the most painful moments of my story, not only because of what happened, but because of what I believed about myself at the time. It was evening. The pastor had left my house about 45 minutes earlier when the phone rang. I picked up the receiver and heard his voice. He told me he was already home in bed, but that his wife was not there. He said he feared she might be looking for him, and he was relieved he had left my home when he did. I remember saying, I hope she doesn't come here. Then suddenly there was a knock at my door. I froze. I told the pastor, someone is at my door. He instructed me, answer it. So I set the phone down and I went and opened the door. It was his wife. She asked if her husband was there. I said no. She asked if she could come in, and I let her come in. She sat at my kitchen table, and I sat across from her. Then she looked me straight in the eyes and asked the question that cut me to the core. Are you having an affair with my husband? I lied. I said no, trying my best to hold my composure. At that time in my life, I believed everything was my fault. I didn't know the language of grooming, coercion, power imbalance, exploitation. I only understood shame. So when someone in authority crosses boundaries, often they shift two things onto the victim. One is responsibility and the other is silence. So even in that moment, my mind wasn't saying, this man manipulated me. No, my mind was saying, I'm the other woman. I caused this. That is what shame does. That is what trauma bonding sounds like. Scripture says God is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. I was crushed in spirit, but I didn't realize God was near me, that he was near me in that very moment. The pastor's wife continued talking, and I will never forget her eyes. They were filled with hurt, confusion, and suspicion. She told me she felt her husband was interested in me. She was trying to make sense of something her spirit already knew. And I sat there thinking, Patricia, you deserve this. You caused this pain. Clinically looking back, I know that was self-incrimination rooted in trauma, the belief that you are the cause of someone else's heartbreak when you were the one that was actually being violated, exploited. I blamed myself for everything, her hurt, her tears, her failing marriage, her isolation. That is how deeply shame will lie to you. It convinces you to take ownership for things you did not create. Now, however, with the language of psychology, I understand something I could never name back then. This was not an affair. This was sexual exploitation. One cannot have equal consent or give equal consent when there is fear, secrecy, spiritual abuse, psychological pressure, and manipulation. I was the victim of the abuse of power by my pastor. As scripture says, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I was unaware of the truth at this time. All I knew was shame. But today I can call it what it was, a violation, an imbalance of power, and a misuse of spiritual authority to gain sexual access. I carried the blame for a decade, more than a decade. I carried silence. I carried the belief that I was the problem. But I want someone listening to hear me clearly. If you have carried shame for something someone in authority did to you, I understand. You are not alone. It was not your fault, however. But there is psychological and spiritual language that can set you free. In the next video, I will continue from this moment because the story doesn't end there. But today, I simply want you to sit with this truth. The night she knocked on my door was not the night I was exposed. It was the night my eyes began to open.